Welcome back, I'm Kim Bailey and this is Floral Art Online. Today we're going to look at utilising an abundance of one particular type of flower. So these are Eucomis or pineapple lily, we call them, Peruvian lily, some of you will know them as. And just a big pasta serving bowl that I had in the cupboard. So once again, not looking at using floral foam, just some very simple mechanics to hold and highlight this wonderful array of pineapple lilies that I picked about a week ago, and I've left them in the bucket for a particular reason which I'll talk about when we're doing the design. But the only other thing we need are a couple of thin branches or sticks, and we're going to use those as part of the structure to showcase the flowers that we've got. So let's get started. So we have our pasta bowl, nice big shallow bowl. And normally we put a little bit of water in it. I'm not going to put the water in straight away today because I want to be able to show you how I'm building the structure up to support the abundance of flowers that we've got to use. So a couple of sticks that we're going to use as supports for placement of the flowers, and we're going to use a technique that is a technique of ikebana to make sure that the plant material is forced against the sides of the bowl to hold it in place. So at this point, what I'm doing is just measuring to see where I can force it to give me that cross bracing there, and I'm leaving some of these uprights so that we can lean the other plant material against it and give us some support for some height, because we could just use the bowl and we could just place all of the flowers in the bowl and some of them hanging over the sides, and that would be a nice flat arrangement. But we want to take advantage of the fact that these are particularly interesting growing flowers, and they've, as I said in the intro, I've left them for a week in the bucket, so they've actually started to try and find the light, which tulips do as well, and to twist a little bit, and I actually enjoy seeing that change in their form and their shape, and being able to use that in some way rather than having them all up straight and forward facing. So back to our stick. Just make sure that we what we've got now is that stick, and I can force that in to hold it in place there, and the pressure against the sides of the bowl is going to hold it in place for when we start to put our other plant material in. And then I'm going to do the same thing with another one, not at 90 degrees, but probably about 60, so about that angle. And once again, I'm going to thread it through so that it also has some support either side. So there we have our cross bracing ready for our plant material. These other offcuts from the branch we could also use. We could have them as part of the structure. I quite like this one because it's got the seed heads on it, so I will probably weave that into it somehow in some section. Now some of these will feel a little bit loose as we place them at this point, but once we've got the other plant material in, it will start to hold itself in position. I'm going to leave those two until we're finished so that we can see if we can use them in some other way. So the next thing to do is to look at the plant material, and I will look at, first of all, layering over the sides, because I like the idea of the plant material spilling out of the bowl and looking like it's just, we've just lifted it out of the ground and put it into this bowl for a bit of display. So I will start by doing those placements, and it's probably just as easy for you to just watch this in sped up time. I am choosing all of the ones that have got a natural twist in them and a natural hangover in them to be able to blend over the side of bowl. So there we have our bowl. What I wanted to achieve was a feeling that, as I said, that we had lifted it up out of the ground and just put it into the bowl so that they're all growing and intertwined amongst themselves. They are supported by themselves. I can put the water in it now and they'll be fine for probably 10 days, 2 weeks. As the flowers begin to die, and they will die from the bottom up, so it can be trimmed and pushed down a little bit further so that you could probably have this arrangement somewhere for a month. So pretty good value in terms of picking something out of the garden that's in abundance and working it so that as it starts to need change and adjustment, that you can adjust it within the framework of the arrangement that you have started with. You'd see that I've added a couple of the seed pods, and I'd probably go out, they were just off the side of the road, so I'd probably go out and grab a few more to fill out a little bit of this space. But essentially it's a front-facing arrangement, so it looks as though this would be the back. So it doesn't need a whole lot here, don't need any height here because we've got interest all the way through it. Your eye travels through it because of the way it's twisted around. You would have seen as I was doing it, twisted some of the placements around. I've cut some of the flowers in half and used the bottom half as filler in areas where I just wanted some bulk of the flower itself. But I think that you can see how easy it is to highlight a particular flower that might be in abundance in your garden at the moment. So here is our bowl of pineapple lilies or eucomis. I'm Kim Bailey and this is Floral Art Online.